Hi there, and welcome back to the Amazing Collection unboxing. This week we have an amazing box of amazing Peter Stone horses. I believe we're on box 62, and fortunately in small print the collector has written the names on here, so I may have a little bit of a clue as I unbox what's in here. And I didn't even open this box before I started the video. So let's get it open and get some of these horses out. Alright, they are in their lovely, ooh, and they have nice little post-it notes on them. How polite, how nice. Alright, let's see, we have a 99 Holiday 4 on the floor Pearl. So I assume it's going to be a standing drafter with that 4 on the floor name. And this is indeed what looks to be a Holiday drafter. No signature or anything, so, and nothing on the tag, just 99 Holiday horse by Stone. So nice, pretty, very pearlescent with green, gold, and red bobs on the mane and tail. Good condition. Nothing in the box. So there's your first Peter Stone horse for this week. Next we have He's a Night Train. Now these, if I remember correctly, were like show specials. There was a whole series of the Heza, H-E-Z-A horses. This is the performance horse in a nice glossy pinto with kind of creepy blue eyes. And it just says he's a night train. No other information on him. But I think it was a series where they would like do different molds with similar colors, or the same mold with different colors, similar patterns kind of thing. A nice pinto, but you can tell he's probably a little earlier, like late 90s probably. And I think all these guys were special runs. He has a lot of overspray on his masking. I don't think it was done deliberately because it looks kind of random, but around the edges of the mask, because this is actually a mask that you put on, then you spray the color, and then you take the mask off. It's a very intricate and lacy pattern, and like I said, this is probably a late 90s horse, so kind of early in the Stone horse history, and it doesn't look like they quite had the masking technique down, because he has a lot of overspray in edges and corners where the little details of the mask came off. So it's really nice, really attractive, and the high gloss makes him very pretty. Just an earlier example of a very intricate Peter Stone horse, kind of showing where the company would eventually go with their very detailed coloring. This one's called Blazing Star, and if I remember right, it's a late 2000, it's an ish, ideal stock horse. These guys were like another series of show specials. They had a bunch of series. They had the Cerulean series, the Heza series, and I think it was either the Blazing series or the Star series, where they would all be, like I said, horses that were kind of similar, either the same pattern on different horses or the same color on different horses with different names. So this is special run of 108, which is right about how much those original show special runs were. Blazing Star doesn't give me the year and nothing on him, but I'm gonna guess again late 90s, early 2000s, like 2000, 2001. Nice Palomino matte-ish ideal stock horse with the long mane, long tail version, because this mold came in a short mane or a long mane, short tail or long tail. Stone was the first to do that mold differences that Breyer has now picked up on. Nice Palomino Pinto. The white is very glossy and nice. This one, I'm going to say, is probably a year or two after this guy. Just my guess. Or he had a painter that took a lot more time, because he has a lot less overspray. I only see like one overspray spot on this side, and this side only has one, and it's kind of in a crease of the hip where it would be very difficult to get that masking off accurately. So this one has a much more clean pinto pattern than this guy does. Could also, like I said, be the painter. It depends on if it was, you know, early Monday morning or late Friday afternoon, how much care they took, and actually, because all of these are hand painted, how much care they take painting and applying and taking off the masking. So a nice, really pretty, really attractive. This is a great mold, and it's a nice color on the mold. They have a little eye white on him, little pinking on the nose, shell hooves on the 3 that are white. So this is a really pretty horse, and a nice, and a special run. That 108 is a pretty small special run for stone in those days. They've gotten much smaller now. This one's called, a pre-production drafter. So this is a thing that mostly stone does. I don't think Breyer does it, where they'll do these pre-productions, and goodness knows what actually happens in the factory. But basically they say they take a little more care on the paint jobs, although this guy's just kind of solid black. So they'll have a run of models, and then they'll have these pre-productions. So whether they're kind of testing out techniques or taking a little more care, these pre-productions will have a little subtle difference between the pre-production and the regular production. So this one says pre-production run in semi-gloss. It just says pre-production drafter. Nothing but a 1998 thing in here. So this could be just the regular run, but the bobs look different. So I mean, he could be a regular run black percheron in the pre-production, because his bobs are red on the outside, then blue on the bow, and then white underneath, and then his ribbon is red and blue. And his tail ribbon is mostly blue, excuse me, with red. So he could be a pre-production of a regular run, he could be a pre-production of a special run, and probably in or around this time of 1998. Mostly solid black. He does have his chestnuts painted. Nothing else really stands out about him. Even his hooves just look like it's the same shooting of the same black paint. Just the mane and tail details. Nicely painted, but nothing that you could really jump out and go, that's significantly different. But it's just something that Stone did. They may still do. And so there you go. Pre-production. The next one is MS Brick Countess. Sounds like a special run to me, but no paperwork inside. This is an ideal stock horse in a matte bay. It says MS Brick Countess, first-ish mare. So let's see, because that would have been right around 1998. Was the ish out? So maybe the ideal stock horse mold wasn't released until after 1998, because it's not in here. So we'll say 1999 or 2000. And it sounds to me like this may have been the first, but it wasn't the first release of this mold. I thought the first release was Malachite, the one at Jamboree. So this is just a nice bay. So maybe this was the first regular run, because I think Malachite was a special run. Just a nice solid bay, matte, with the short mane, long tail version. And just a little tiny star and a little stocking on the back right hoof. Probably a portrait model. They did a lot of portrait models at this time. So here we have MS Brick Countess, the first ideal stock horse mare. Or, because they did make these in stallions and geldings, so maybe it was just the first release of that mold as a mare. That's also a possibility. Oh, and then finally we have Storyteller. I remember this one. This will be, I think, an ish. This was a special run, I think, for Great Lakes Congress. It says on his tag, just Storyteller. I think it was late I think it was early 2000, 2001. These were fairly small special runs. I don't remember, but a few hundred, between 100 and 400 probably. Kind of an apricot dun matte with a little dorsal stripe. And then this is the Great Lakes. So here's 3, and then here's 2 of the Great Lakes. So these are actually, the Pinto pattern is actually a map of the Great Lakes. And the reason that this horse is called Storyteller is it was a special run honoring Marguerite Henry. And I think the proceeds of this special run went to the Misty of Chincoteague Foundation. And that's why he's called Storyteller, because Marguerite Henry was a writer that told stories about horses and dogs and animals. So this was a special run to commemorate Marguerite Henry, and it was for the Great Lakes Congress, which is why the pattern is a Great Lakes pattern. No other real detailing. Dark head, blaze, pink, a little bit of eye whites. The Pinto pattern is done very nicely, and quite a bit of shading. Very dark headed, dark across the shoulders, but just the dorsal stripe, no other kind of primitive markings. And then the 3 stripes, or the 3 white legs with black hooves all around. Very nice, very attractive. It's a good pattern. I think it looks really nice on this horse. No signature or dating or anything else, but this was a really fun special run. I don't think I got one, but I do remember at the time it was on my list of ones to track down. So there you go, a nice box of 6 Peter Stone horses, probably all in that kind of 90, 98, 99 to early 2000s era. Some pre-production, some special runs, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Join me next week and we'll see what I dig out of the boxes for our next box. Thank you, and join me then.